What is a semicolon? A semicolon is a punctuation mark used to separate parts of a sentence, typically linking two complete ideas. It is considered stronger than a comma but weaker than a period, as it denotes a pause that is slightly longer than a comma but shorter than the full stop indicated by a period. Semicolons often take the place of a comma under two circumstances. First, when additional commas can negatively impact the clarity of a sentence. For example, she bought bread, juice, and bacon at the grocer's, plums, peaches, and pears from the farmer's market, and pencils, pens, and paper from the office supply store. The second common use is to link independent clauses without a coordinating conjunction. For example, he painted the kitchen, he still needs to paint the bedroom. Semicolons should also be used to avoid a comma splice, using a comma to link two independent clauses or separate sentences with related ideas. They love cooking together. Their favorite dish to make is paella. Semicolons have a slightly different use than colons. Where semicolons link two independent clauses, the primary use of a colon is to join independent clauses with a list, a noun, or a dependent clause. The teacher requires students to bring a few items to the first day of class. They need a pocket folder, notebook, and flash drive. Semicolons have two main purposes. 1. To clarify a series. When providing a written list where individual elements contain a comma, the items should be separated using a semicolon. The use of a semicolon in this way is sometimes called a supercomma. Ari was able to study abroad in main European cities such as Paris, France, Berlin, Germany, and Rome, Italy. And 2. To indicate two closely related sentences, use a semicolon to connect two closely related independent clauses, a complete sentence containing a subject and a verb. Jocelyn was sitting in the library. She was not reading anything. Here are some conditions where you should use semicolons. Semicolons are mostly used to separate independent clauses in a single compound sentence. The two independent clauses must be equally important for a semicolon to be justified. Most people like to write using a computer. Mindy still likes to use pen and paper. Use a semicolon when two independent clauses are connected by a conjunctive adverb, connecting words like therefore, consequently, furthermore, etc., or transitional expression, for example, in other words, in addition, etc. Here's an example using an adverb. The Friday special is usually prime rib. However, it sold out early tonight. Here's an example using a transition. John was caught cheating on his homework. As a result, he failed the assignment. Finally, add a semicolon when listing items containing internal punctuation. When packing for camp, it is best to bring a sleeping bag, pillow, and pajamas for the overnight stay, boots, backpack, and water bottle for the hike, and bathing suit, goggles, and towel for swimming. Here are some more examples of how to use a semicolon in a sentence. Maria scored the highest on the quiz. Lois scored the second highest. All of the cast and crew of the play received a standing ovation. After all, they've earned it. The participants mainly traveled from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Akron, Ohio, and Buffalo, New York.